Hi folks, we are getting to the business end now of the match between Stark and Greyjoy in the 8 Regents of Westeros tournament. So it's the final round and the result in this one is 4-4, so looking to take the lead again if you can. And what is the matchup? So we have Zuzana playing Mammers for Greyjoy. We're expecting Neo to play Mammers maybe, so a slight surprise here. And we have Phillip playing Assault from the Shadows. So yeah, I'm recording commentary for this a bit later. So when the tournament is already over, and I can tell you that Assault we had I think 3 copies. It was one of the agendas that we either we got an additional copy with the trade or we even took one extra. We considered it one of our strongest decks potentially, but in the end we are left with 2 copies here for the final few games against Greyjoy, and it was actually the one that was left unplayed at the end. So not that we thought it was bad, it just previously in the tournament we had opportunity to waste the really bad ones, so we went into this final round with a pretty good roster of agendas, and we were lucky enough to have options, so to not be too predictable about what we were going to play in those final games. And Assault was left unplayed, even though it's a good deck. And the first game Andy played it against, I think, Banner Kraken against Night's Watch, and it was got to 14 and couldn't quite close it. So this is our second crack at it with Assault, and it's one of my personal regrets in this tournament that I wasn't able to play a Shadows deck out of Stark. Ran out of rounds, so I played all 7. Had a really good tournament, but still some decks that left unplayed in the end. So. But let's focus on the game now. So we have a Begging Brother here to cancel or all of our draw, which is slightly annoying, but at least we spend it now. Although immediately Unbridled Generosity is played as soon as Begging Brother is spent. It's gonna get more gold, and if this is played on Vargo, which it should be, then Vargo can also move 1 gold onto the Begging Brother to cancel 2 more things if needed. So Vargo and Victarion, who is one of the best sources of keywords, of course, in Greyjoy, has printed Intimidate and Renown, which he spreads onto Vargo potentially. That happens right now. So really good situation here for Greyjoy, and the only thing, no fools, so not drawing anything. Basically top decking at the moment until something is found. And we have good econ start. We have our Alicane and we have a card in Shadows, but yeah, Begging Brother cancelling all of our draw, and now we're left with basically 2 Umber Loyalists that are just going to have the downside to discard the rest of our hand, and we lose Tower of the Hand, which, yeah, we open Winter Reserve, so we're gonna have a Winter plotline. That's a good draw card, really. So, not draw card, a stand card, I mean, in the challenges phase or any phase, especially if you also have Withering Cold, which I think a lot of these decks do. So it's not fun to lose. We defend Victarion though, to keep our board alive, and we're gonna do suffer unopposed power here. It's gonna be 4-0, so not that fun. We have a card in Shadows. Is it coming out? To strike back. If it's something like Mira, I think... Oh, it's Bolt and Flare. I was gonna say, if it's something like Mira, it could be interesting to bring her out, do a military, because there's nothing super obvious to claim here for Zuzana. To have to take the dupe maybe, and then it's a little bit more exposed, but Kervin's still there. And Bolton Flare will just kill our own reducer here. We protected it really well, which in hindsight maybe wasn't that necessary because now it's dying for that. Otherwise, Kerwin would be the target, right? And then Begging Brother would have to cancel. But we actually use the armory to do some more challenges. Yeah, because there's no super obvious claim here. We have Morghulis or a Stranger for sure. I mean, it's winter, so could have Stranger, and Greyjoy will have that as well. So good to take the dupes if we can. And it's a real dilemma here. Could take the Vargo dupe and just trust that you will be just faster and win the game that way. I mean, we can't play Morghulis with Amber Loyalists there to leave us on 0 cards, right? Begging Brother goes. Well, that was an annoying card. It's also left the door open for another unopposed power, so we'll actually end up ahead after all of that. And Amber Loyalist is now free to kill anything without Begging Brother cancelling him. But yeah, what do we do about Greyjoy just playing Morghulis here? Because we lose the 4 cards, right? And Kerwin presumably says Victarion, and it's a really dominant situation then for Greyjoy. Would have had more cards if we were allowed to draw. Go time for Wolves, so we have to go first now. And well, we should really be triggering Morghulis first, and then Summer comes in and takes Alicent back, right? I mean, yeah, Greywind to cancel one of the Amber Loyalists, but it doesn't have a target, that's the problem. I think that was a mistake here from Phillip. Mentioned after the game. I was thinking here when I was watching it originally that maybe one of the cards is really good and wants an extra card in hand to to discard only 4 of the 5 for Amber Loyalist and then marshal that one back. But that would be a pretty obscure situation, right? Quite unlikely. But actually, it's a disaster now because we lose what? Old Gate and Summer that we just took, and then Frozen Solid and another Old Gate. So now we're top decking completely. Ah, we actually had another Summer. That's not so bad then actually, but that could have come in for free after Morghulis resolved, and we would get well, maybe the card in Shadow is something that costs 1 anyway, and it's worked out the same. We'll see. If you do have the Stranger, those two are both 6 costs, so as long as Victarion doesn't get the save, maybe we can still reset after this pretty well. We also have Claim, and Greyjoy doesn't, so if nothing comes in, which I find unlikely that you would pull the trigger with nothing coming in, yeah, then I was gonna say we actually push the military through and something has to die. Not so much now, but we might have something, right, with that card in shadows because we did need the reducer. Don't think we'd do that if that card was intended to just stay in shadows this round. Immediate nightmares on Alysanne. But does it matter that much because she stealths one and then you defend with the other two, right? You still have to defend with two, do you not? If they both attack. Summer only attacks, okay. So now one is enough, presumably Victarion. Kind of risky if that card in shadows is some weird strength boost. It's not. But still no draw for Greyjoy. No fools, and we still have a reset window, I think. But yeah, that was a rough Morghulis for us, I think. Still ahead though, losing on the board massively, but let's see. Have to have something, right? Whether it's Morghulis, Stranger or Dohaeris, I mean they all hit. Duel would be perfect, but somehow I doubt we have that. Dohaeris, but it's into barring the gate, so whatever is in shadows stuck there now. We go first again because Alysanne can still do the military with stealth, which puts some pressure on. Now we are relying on luck here. Hopefully we draw something playable. And Vargo goes. Well, still marshalling into shadows even though it's barring, so hopefully some non-characters like ice, that would be perfect. Greyjoy's still pretty good. Can put all of them into military and cause some problems if nothing more comes in. But something is coming, something big. Ugh, not Balon. Well, barring the gates is revealed, so at least he'll be quiet for one round. If only we could have ice and kill him now, that would be perfect. Milk and Greyjoy for the last round where he was turned on. Can't attack with all of them, stand him, intimidate, and he does power as well. Plan's not working. There is a source of draw now, but if we push military, that source of draw surely is the one that's getting killed also. So what's the situation now? We have 10 and 1 stealth, so we can win it if we want. And if there's ice in shadows, things are looking really good actually suddenly. If there's not and it's just one claim here, then we are not doing a lot because the Jester dies and the other three are all really powerful characters on their own, and Victorion gets his save when he wins the challenge. Come on, have ice. Yes. Which one though? Balon's such a problem long term. Back to the beginning then for Greyjoy with Victorion and Lucas there. This one might be left unopposed, or Victorion can try to get his power on defense and then just do military back with Lucas. Or just leave this one and then do 2 back. Wins on defense. And we have a reducer to spare, so it's not the worst thing. If we also had the Intimidate and stand on Greyjoy, we could have stopped everything basically this round. Get them all and not even have Victorion do anything back. But now, I'd say we are not necessarily losing on the board state anymore. If we have another good round, Greyjoy is struggling. Maybe there was a case to be made for keeping that Jester, trying to draw a little bit more. Lucas would go then, but I don't know. Do we have a march to the wall? I doubt we do. We have a 2-claimer though, but we go second and Victorion has Intimidate. Into Brand the Builder, which will draw some locations, which is not immediately useful, but it does filter out the deck a little bit, giving you slightly more chance to draw characters. Discards power from the faction card, not from Victorion, that also makes sense. And yes, Patchface comes in, source of draw, and he comes duped, which is very important now for Zuzana here. And we have what? Card in Shadows. No barring at this point, so 8 gold, whatever's there can come out. Hopefully something good. Yeah, but nothing can really happen that we don't know about. 0 cards in hand, so can lose all the challenges individually here as Stark and not really be that worried. Okay, there's gonna be Military Claim and Intimidate, but 2 cards are still in Shadows. And if Zuzana under attacks, something can come out and defend. If she under attacks, we could have ice on defense. Then it's virtually game, I think. I mean, we could have ice on defense here, in theory. I have to say that I don't remember at this point exactly how this game went. But I do know we have ice is one of the key cards that's supposed to come as a surprise, and with no save area as well. Smallfolk Mob can just be paid for. We have leftover gold, and we're just gonna defend this and do our stuff back, which is really good on a 2-claim plot. But yeah, he's gonna try to win this in the meantime, which I guess we can do nothing about. And what's the card gonna be? I doubt we have an intrigue icon, although if we have a Bolton Flare to kill the duped Patchface and do intrigue in the process, King's Road is found. Has to kill two characters. Does she kill Victarion? So now he's not savable in the plot phase anymore. The card is Carhold. Well, not sure why it needed to come out exactly at this point, but... Well, it stops Victarion from getting any power back. It's not gonna be that many winter plots, I think, for Greyjoy Mummers, so... Really struggling to win at this point. They do have two cards now to work with, King's Road and something under patch phase. But we've done a lot of damage and we are on 9. If we have initiative at any point with Alysanne stealthing, we're doing quite well, I think. Just hope we don't top deck more characters that can't close the game and then we reset them all in one go. Withering Cold and Forgotten Plans. Well, okay. I guess with not kneeling Alysanne, and of course it's the Fools, so they wouldn't be able to stand to get cards. Would have liked Withering Cold to happen, but it's not the worst thing. I guess Forgotten Plans is there to cancel Mad King's command and for Snow for the Fools. But this deck's quite big and Balon's there as well, so it's quite resistant to First Snow actually. I mean, the fact that Balon got killed immediately was really a nice bonus. Use one of those old gates. I think we discarded 2 for our guys, for our Amber loyalists. It's really harsh. So dupe for Victarion, which is quite useful, and Euron comes in. Well, well, well. Yeah, I remember this. This is now... there's some problem with the gold, because if you marshal something from under the Fools with this agenda, the reductions don't work correctly always, because the site thinks those cards are attachments, so it would reduce the cost of attachments, but not the cost of characters with Great Hall and Sea Tower, so Euron should be reduced, and I think you can keep more from the Iron Bank or whatever it is here. Yeah. Which could make a difference if there's something else that's playable. King's Road's still there, right? Not sure if I was watching this part of the game. I know I pressed record and was doing other stuff a lot of the time, so I'm curious what is in the discard pile for Euron to take, but I can't show you now. Hopefully we click on it at some point, but I think old gates are there for Stark, and probably not much else. Sweet Sleep goes on Euron. Yeah. Don't think we'll have negative attachments really. I could have Pinch actually. I'm just gonna do quite a weak one here. Do we have a boost? I don't think we'd have. If there was ice in Shadows, I don't think we'd risk not winning the military. I think we'd go stronger. Just basically wasting that. Would have been a nice play if Withering Cold was actually turned on. By the way, we faction card will stand also, of course. Yeah. So otherwise, you also have to make a choice when playing Assault whether you want to use the agenda. It's the same with Brotherhood. Actually, Withering Cold is really good with Brotherhood in the sense that you have Intimidate on demand and you can do damage basically for an additional round if you intimidate really well. But your faction card also will remain knelt. So you have to make a choice. Am I doing damage, or will I have a weak round and just leave it for next round when more stuff is nailed from the Withering Cold and I can try again then. Yeah, it makes some sense in Brotherhood, and here I think we saw the Tower of the Hand. I mean, Tower of the Hand and Withering Cold are best friends basically, so a small price to pay that you don't have the agenda trigger one round. Zuzana's defending everything. I mean, we are on 9 and Euron's there. He can do intrigue, the others we defend successfully, so that's what he tries. And I hope we don't have anything really good in the discard pile, or that he doesn't pillage anything. But I think Econ's the best he can get probably, and he's not gonna get Renown because we have Carhold. It's already Tower of the Hand, okay. Won't work on non-Starks of course, but it will stop us ever playing that. But we stop to Renown with that Carhold, and whatever we have in Shadow stays there. Yeah, we are now down to the last 2 plots, so we failed to close, don't have any Renown or any further rush here, so now we could be in trouble if we have Morghulis, right? Stranger into Econ. Econ hoping for cards, except for the one that's under patch face I guess. We have a nice spread of costs, so best Zeus can do here probably is to just select 3, kill Summer and Alicent. But she also has 4 different costs here, so I mean we're probably gonna take out Euron, right? So this is not that favorable for us, leaves us with 3 on 3, but Greyjoy is okay here with their 3 characters against our 3 characters. Now who's winning the top deck battle and what is our leftover card in Shadows? Another save and a Jingle Bell, which if you kill can get Shagwell. Well, it's something. Not spending any Iron Bank here, so it's gold for all eternity unless we play Frozen Solid. Have a natural Shadows card and another card that we put there, so hopefully something good. Yeah. Going first now might not be that fun. You have 1 Intimidate character, but also opponent is on 10. So if you over-kneel your characters, suddenly that 10 can turn into 13, 14, maybe even 15 if it's randomly fast he comes out of Shadows. No hand, so we're gonna let Jingle Bell do this. Of course, wants to kneel the fools at least here, so that they draw more cards. And doesn't dare do anything else. Now what do we do? And what is our last plot? If it's Morghulis, it's a disaster. So then we'd have to keep our cards in Shadows. But if it's something else, I mean Greyjoy's not gonna have a second reset, and if we don't have it, then we can just bring them out, do our stuff. Are we gonna go for the big military to force something to die? The thing is though, it will be Jingle Bell, right? Not taking the dupes just in case, and Jingle Bell can search for a Shagwell, and there's no evidence at the moment that we have an intrigue icon anywhere, so could remain in hand Although then you don't get the card from under Jingle Bell, of course, but yeah. Shag was not amazing though with Carhold. He was supposed to have Renown and give Patchface Renown, but still can get Intimidate though. Then you have a bit more board control, but yeah, against Shadows they always, even if you go first, they always can bring stuff out later, so. Do we have another power icon? We have Stealth, okay. Do we snipe that Shag well away, or do we go power? I guess we go power. It's more important. If we Stealth Patchface, then he won't get another card. What's the natural shadow card? So one Rick is there in the discard pile. He can take Victarion if we have Rick. There's also, of course, Bolton Flare, which at the moment is not amazing, but it might be worth it to do Intrigue. And the other card is Winter is Coming, which we are using on the power challenge to get closer to victory. Bolton Flare, okay, so our Winterfell Steward is going, but so is Shagwell from hand. And it's another unopposed to get us to 13. We have the Jojen trigger here. Both players with empty hands, so it will be interesting what we decide. We had heads on spikes. Don't think we do though. Probably have another Winterplot. Ooh, no save Arya, well, and Victarion, who is already duped in place, so we may as well draw that, and then Greyjoy can't do anything with the threat of Morghulis when the plots turn around and trying to get rid of our unduped board. Just we have the gates. Yeah, we have Winter reserves and at the gates in the deck. The gate's supposed to be the opener to get Gates of the Moon, but I guess we had it in hand or on setup, and the window was kind of gone. So it was left for the end, but it's not bad here. And burning the books is fizzles basically. So what was drawn? I mean, one card's Victarion and nothing's drawn. Okay. Cool, that was a nice turnaround. I mean, Carhold in the end did something, but I think we were kind of winning reason. Yeah, the saves, okay, and the Duran. Yeah, it's rough. I think we were kind of winning even if Victarion and before him Euron were able to get a little bit of power. Yeah, I think that ice play with Balon was really nice, and yeah, Wolfblood was bad, but after that we for sure won the top decking battle. So Philip gives us a 5-4 lead again, and it's his 4th win. He played all the rounds, did really well for us. Won 4 of his 7 games, returning after a bit of an absence to the game, and has had a good tournament, so well done to him. And we'll see if we can close this match in the remaining 4 games. So thank you for watching this one, and see you next time.